just went on a podcast and exposed the entire jewelry industry. In this video, I'm going to expose all of Lil Yachty to you guys. Pause on. We're gonna review if his points are valid, if he's speaking the truth, and if we could learn something from Lil Yachty's buying experience. With that being said, let's get started.
It's so important for me to tell people like that it's not important to buy jewelry.
The first point Yachty makes is it's not important to buy jewelry. Jewelry is a luxury good. It is not a need, it is a want. You don't need jewelry, but a lot of people want it. You don't need Louis Vuitton. You don't need the car with the heated steering wheel and the heated seats, but you work hard because it makes you feel good. So it is preference, there's level to it. So do you need jewelry? Absolutely not. The next segment, and the segment I really want to touch up on, is him spending $4 million. Let's watch it.
I spent $4 million on jewelry. I got into a lawsuit with a jeweler. They caused me and my mom. We went and pulled all our statements for any diamond we have ever bought since 2016. It totaled up to $4 million. And then I realized I don't wear any of it.
$4 million he spent since 2016 on jewelry. Then he goes on to say how jewelry is a depreciating asset worse than a car.
The value of it depreciates. It's like it's way worse than a car. Unless you...
That's a lot of words there. Now, let me talk to you guys about jewelry. There's different types of jewelry. And first of all, when he's talking about you don't need jewelry, why did he spend $4 million on jewelry? Because he loves it. A lot of people like myself sitting there is like, if I had money, I'd buy a nicer piece. I think Lil Yachty just learned over the years and now is smarter with his money and doesn't need to splurge on expensive diamond pieces. Now, $4 million since 2016. A huge point I want to make is, what jewelry are you buying? There's a clip in here where someone is diamond testing a bust down Cuban link, and knowing Lil Yachty and seeing his jewelry over the year, it's a lot of that type of jewelry. Because if you bought in 2016 or 2017 $4 million worth of the right jewelry, it would be actually an investment because you would have made a whole lot of money. And what I'm talking about is gold. If your jewelry has a lot of solid gold on it, most rappers' jewelry doesn't, then you would have taken that $4 million, yes, there's labor, even on a big Figaro like the one I have, you're gonna pay a premium on it. But let's just say you took $4 million and bought gold pieces, you would have at least made $2 million of that money back, because the gold market in 2016, 2017 was near 50% less than it is now. While I'm making this video, we're at $2,000 per ounce for gold. So is all jewelry a depreciating asset or a bad thing? Absolutely not. You just have to know how to buy the right jewelry. Nowhere in this interview is he talking about solid gold. He's mainly talking about diamonds, like in the following clip.
Solid stones, GIA certified, which you're not. You pay for quality, and people don't pay for quality. They like to pay cheap.
Solid stones, GIA certified, and small diamonds, guys, like in bust down Cubans or the custom pendants you see all the rappers have, even like my diamond alien hand I just got. These aren't GIA certified stones. You're only gonna buy GIA certified stones for half carat and up, not the micro pave diamond. So do they have resale value as a whole piece? They do, but not individually as a diamond. No one's going to buy certified individual GIA stones for smaller pieces. So I think a lot of his jewelry, just like the one he's wearing in the interview, small micro diamonds that are not GIA certified. The last part of the interview I want to touch up on is about quality. Lil Yachty says,
you pay for quality, and people don't pay for quality. They like to pay cheaper to try and get the same thing.
Now that is 100% the truth. People want to, especially if you're a beginner, you don't really know the difference between quality, is go the absolute cheapest route. And in my opinion, learning not just jewelry but life in general, you go the cheap route, you end up spending double than going the quality route. And the thing with Yachty, from reading in between the lines with this interview, is he talks about certified stones. He talks about the quality route. He knows he got burned on some lower end pieces that were marked up, surprisingly, because jewelers tend to get free jewelry for shout outs, promos. But he obviously spent a lot of money and learned lessons while doing so. Is if you don't have certified stones with bigger diamonds, bigger tennis chains, bracelets, then you don't really know what you have. And diamonds not being that transparent compared to gold, that can happen. So you have to know what you have in case you want to resell it later. Again, there's a lot of different variances and types of jewelry. Yachty has experience with diamond jewelry, which he spent $4 million. If he was just to go scrap it, it would be pennies on the dollar because it's not the right jewelry, but you learn, and that is the process. And as I stated, if he went more solid gold heavy jewelry, kind of like Mr. T, there's a lot of crazy things you could read up on how much he bought his gold chains back then and how much they're worth for it. That is an asset. That is an investment. A lot of people say jewelry is not an investment, but again, if he spent $4 million in 2016, 2017, when gold was $1,250 per average for spot price, today it's at $2,000. Just look how much more that gold would have made him money. But sometimes you need some diamonds, you need that flash. Overall, if you want more investment or if you want gold or jewelry that has value, stick with solid gold jewelry that doesn't have a ton of labor. You can find a good deal, Jacoji.com. That is my thoughts and opinions. I think Yachty has learned a lot in his jewelry buying experience, especially young, dropping broccoli, being a mega hit, the typical rapper. It is kind of cool to hear from an average consumer, so to speak, and review kind of his journey with jewelry and just feel like, you know what, I don't even want to wear it because I spent too much and it's not worth anything. But again, if he bought the right jeweler from the right jeweler, he would have actually done okay with his jewelry. That's it for today's video. What do you guys think of this review? And we'll see you on our next jewelry video.